Hello, my name is Rebecca Lutz, but I go by Becca, and this is my Module 1 for EDL 851. So about me, I turned 29 on January 21st. I have been a homeowner for 8 years, which I've recently been taking up home projects. I've learned I'm not very good at them, but I still try my hardest. I love anything outdoors when it's nice out. When it's cold, you can find me curled up reading a book. I do not like cold weather. Hobbies include reading, exploring outside, and being an aunt. Um, these are my best friend's 3 kids. Anna is 9 months old. Asha just turned 5. And then Autumn will be turning 9 next month on Valentine's Day. A recent fact about me, I was off last week because I got COVID. So I'm still getting over that. I definitely still have fatigue and I have no taste, which is driving me insane. I just want to be able to taste my iced coffee. So that's been a journey. For sure, I am finally cleared to go back to work tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and I'm so excited. I have an animal obsession. So this is Tiki. She's a bearded dragon. She was my classroom pet. This year I didn't take her just because of all the cleaning that we're doing this year. So she's been staying home. The kids definitely miss her. My dogs, this is Kona and then Bolt. And my cats I've had for at least 10 years. This is Daisy. And that's Mittens. So I definitely love all the animals. I would definitely have more if I had a bigger house. So I'm currently working at Mathis Early Learning Center, which is in the Seaman School District. I've been teaching here for 3 years. It's a fully inclusive preschool model. So each classroom is a third SPED, a third at-risk, and a third community. We have a morning class and an afternoon class. So generally I have up to 30 students that I see daily. And I'm not only the regular ed teacher, but I'm also their special education teacher as well. I definitely was nervous when I went from my other school here with IEPs, but it ends up that I really had nothing to be afraid of, and I love it. So it's definitely been a nice change working here, and I plan to stay here forever, hopefully. Reasons I love teaching. I do cars in the mornings and afternoons, so I'm not in the classroom when the kiddos get there. So I love walking into the room and seeing the kids for the first time, and they run at me and give me hugs and tell me tell me they love me. That's the best feeling ever. I love all the smiles, making a difference. The I love yous. Our end of the day chant is one of my favorites. So they echo me when I say I am smart, I am kind, I am loved, and I can do anything. I've had a lot of teachers comment on just how they walk by and hear that, and it makes their day, and the kids absolutely love it. And I love being a safe space. So I love the kids know they can come and talk to me if they have any problems, and I love that. So after reading the articles, I went over the 4 areas. The first area is improvement. So you need to make sure that you're assessing teachers regularly. My school has a really good tool that we use. It's the class observation tool. And so it's broken down into 3 categories: emotional support, classroom observation, and instructional support. And in each of those categories is other things. So in emotional support, it grades positive climate, negative climate, teacher sensitivity, and regards for student perspective. Under classroom organization is behavior management, productivity, and then an instructional learning format. And then the last one, instructional support, is concept development, quality of feedback, and language modeling. I think this is a really good tool. We do it, well, you could do it 2 times a year, but the first time, if you don't get above national average in all categories, you would have to then go through a coaching cycle with our instructional coach, and she'll come in and observe you teaching and give you feedback, and then you'll take it a second time after your coaching cycle is over to see if you had any improvement. Something else that I found really interesting, it said, recognize improved teaching as the collective responsibility of principals, assistant principals, teacher leads, teachers, and district office personnel. So I had never thought of it as, you know, it was all of us. Like normally it's just me. Like if I have like a bad observation, I beat myself up and it's just me. But really I need to be supported by everyone else in the building as well. Retention, so have incentive pay. This is something that I hadn't heard of before, but it would be incentive pay up to 5 years to stay at that school. So they would give you an incentive to stay, and then after 5 years, they would stop. But that's something that I feel like would really get people into the doors and into the classroom. You want to make sure that you talk to your staff, ask your staff what changes, if there's changes they think need made, what do they think they need? Like, what do they think needs changed? Have a transparent environment, offer praise where it's due, and be open-minded about mental health. Learning, so it talked a lot about professional development. Some that I found interesting were understanding the culture of poverty and then curriculum implementation. You want to make sure that you also provide out of school opportunities and that the district has money set aside if that opportunity costs money. Something we use for our professional development is Teachstone, so that goes along with our class observation. Our instructional coaches can assign us videos on each domain. Like if we need work on classroom organization, they could send us videos on just that domain, or it can be an overall video about how to run the classroom. And then you also need to be willing to accept help. No one's perfect, and someone can come in your room and come up with something that you hadn't even thought of yet. So be open-minded and be willing to accept that help. Well-being, so this is something that's really big at my school right now. So have a staff mental health lead. We do have one, and it's our head nurse. You want to have a mental health policy. Be open about your mental health. Have someone to support you in your classroom choices. So like if you're having a hard time with a student, have someone come in and support you and make sure that you are making the right choices. Know how to access external support if you don't feel comfortable talking to whoever your mental health lead is. There are other resources and avenues that you can explore. If you can help it, don't work in the evenings and weekends. I used to stay late every day after school working, and eventually I just stopped. Like, it wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my home life. So I just stopped, and I walk out the door as soon as school's over and come home. You want to have a safe space in the building when a break is needed. Hold social events, non-work related for staff. So you could have like workout classes or like creativity classes just outside of school, so you can bond with your staff in a way that's not involving academics. Also have surveys to pinpoint mental health issues in your building. Every building has different needs, and so knowing what the need in your building is very important. And then it needs to be on agenda for staff meetings. It can't be overlooked. Mental health is something that's taking over, and it needs to be addressed. All right, so my standard correlation, my knowledge increased in improvement because it solidified the importance of evaluation. I know I always dread when I have to be evaluated, but my school has a wonderful tool that provides a lot of insight into the everyday classroom operations. My knowledge increased in retention because it showed me different things I can do when I'm in the leadership position to make the school environment more welcoming and hopefully new ways to help retain staff. My knowledge increased in learning because it increased my understanding of how important professional development is and that it should be taken seriously. I know a lot of the time I have other things on my mind when I'm in professional development and I'm not taking it seriously. So that's something that I want to change, and I want to make sure that I'm doing more of. Well-being is the most important factor to me. Mental health is real and it should not be overlooked. When I was reading the different resources provided, I got a good outlook on some things that we are currently not doing that I would love to implement when I am in the leadership position. So for example, we used to have a safe space for teachers. Recently that got taken away, and I know it was used very often, so I want to try and implement that again. Relevant, this assignment supported the educational success and well-being of the teachers and students because it gave us many different ways to support mental health in the school for the teachers. If teachers' mental health is low, the students' learning will be low, so supporting the mental health of your staff will benefit everyone around them. And then my reflection, I think my biggest take from this was the mental health portion. This is something that my school has been trying to work on more, but I myself struggle with mental health every day. So I think that I can use the knowledge and skills that I've learned so far when I'm a leader to be open and honest about my mental health and focus on improving that in my fellow teachers. And then my resources. I look forward to getting to know everyone, and I will see you later.